Live?
We are.
Okay. All right, welcome to the launch event for Kelowna Fan Xpo 2016. Thank you very much. All right, so who came last year? Last year was amazing. We had a sold-out event. It was way beyond our expectations, and we were very pleased with the reception we got. So we thought, let's do it all again. Yay. All right, so this year, Kelowna Fan Xpo 2016. So first off, I'd like to introduce the people that actually put this thing together. We've got Bonnie Gratz over there, who is the artistic director, the New Vintage Theatre as well. We've got Sheila over there, who's one of the producers, and we have Erin over there as well, who's one of the producers. They're the ladies, between them, are planning one of the best events Kelowna's ever seen. Oh, I should introduce myself too, actually. So, I'm Joe Walton. I was the co-producer last year, and this year I am the Communications and Media Director for Kelowna Fan Xpo. So, this year we're going to have an even bigger, more exciting event. It's going to be something that the Valley is never seen before. We're bringing guests the Valley's never seen before. And we're going to tap into something that this Valley deserves and the Valley's going to get. So we're very excited about that. We've also got some great sponsors. I'd just like to thank the City of Kelowna, who have helped it out marvelously. What the Fast is an amazing company. They're winning awards, they're breaking ground. Please check them out. The Pulse Group helped us out. Disney Interactive, been a huge sponsor for us. And we just found out a few minutes ago, Prestige Hotels will be our hotel sponsor for the event. Every single invited VIP will be staying at the Prestige Hotel. If you're coming from out of town, get a room because the parties there are going to be awesome. Amazing. Sun FM has come on as a sponsor, so that's amazing too. The library is one of our venues for this coming year. They're going to be helping us out, which is huge. Aspire Media, Reedhurst and Nagy Accountants, Lynn Walker Bookkeeping, FH&P Lawyers, Kelowna Now, thank you very much. Pulp Fiction Coffee, best coffee in town, and Points West Realty. So thank you to them. Without them, we can't do this, so please give them a round of applause. Their help makes this a reality. So we're very pleased about that. So I think without further ado, we'll send to someone more interesting. Let's have Erin come tell us what we're going to expect.
Awesome, thanks Joe. As Joe said, my name is Erin Scott, and I'm one of the producers for the event. I'm focused right here in the Rotary Centre for the Arts. We've got some super exciting things. So in the Mary Irwin Theatre, we're going to be having a What the Fast sponsored League of Legends tournament. If you don't know what League of Legends is, it's like a World of Warcraft game. So a MODA, multiplayer online battle arena. The mic is dying, but that's okay. We also have a whole bunch of vendors and artist alley going on right here. I have somebody coming to help me with my mic.
You probably don't need it.
No.
So we have a whole bunch of artists and vendors that are going to be set up right here in the Salon room, the conference room, the Sun FN room, and we have people from all over the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada. So that's really exciting for us. 3 times as many vendors and artists this year. So it's substantial, it's going to be awesome. So while we have the What the Fast gaming going on, we're going to have commentators, we have a bunch of different celebrity appearances from our guests who are coming in, as well as cosplayers coming to check out the scene. So it's going to be a really, really awesome event for anybody who's gaming related. We have a surprise that I'm not going to give too much away about, but if you can imagine kind of a Canadiana Macy's Day giant float going on right out here out front of New Vintage Theatre, and that's being presented by Parks Canada, who's going to also have a wonderful green screen going on upstairs. And one of my other very exciting triumphs for this year is we are going to be having a food truck culture rally. So that's happening over outside of Kelowna Community Theatre. We're going to be working in association with Surfside, California. If you have not had their tacos, they are amazing. It reminds me of living back in Southern California. So that's a little bit of what's going on in here. We also have Crunchyroll animations going on in here too, so you can stop by, watch any kind of anime, shorts, TV series, or films. And yeah, that's kind of it for me and what I'm up to on this wonderful project. I'm really excited to share what we're up to with you guys. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Sheila. I wanted to just a quick little point that we're doing this year. We're adding something amazing. It's for the kids. I'm excited, and I know the kids will be. It's a Disney Interactive, and it's space. So I don't want to give too much information because I don't want the kids to hear about this, but they're going to have so much to do, to see, to create. It's going to be wonderful. So the first time this year, so it's going to be in the library, and they're going to have a blast. So check it out. Thank you. There's a lot.
All right, so I'm Bonnie Gratz, and I have the lucky job of announcing all of our lineup. And I know there's been a few little hints put out there in the world, but our lineup is so extensive, I need to make sure that I have my paper in front of me because we have so many people coming from all across Canada and also from international locales. So we start off our festival the night before on March 18th with the Irrelevant Show. This is a nationally broadcast CBC comedy show that has a huge following. The performers in it are known throughout not just Canada for their work, but internationally as some of the very best of the best. And that includes Mark Meir, who is known also as Commander Shepard in the game Mass Effect. He is also hired and works with all kinds of people around the world. His best friend is Nathan Fillion. So if you go on his Facebook page, he's always playing lightsabers with Nathan Fillion. Mark was a guest last year, and he loved our festival so much in its first year that he wanted all of his friends from the Irrelevant Show to come and to kick off our festival. And they're sticking around all weekend long to talk about what it's like to write for comedy. They're going to be doing a Doctor Who takeoff called Doctor Whom, improvisation in the big Kelowna Community Theatre. And they are going to be making appearances. So Commander Shepard will be here and will be able to talk about his voice acting in that video game series. So that's a little bit about our night before. It's already selling amazingly well, and I know we're going to have a sold-out event. So if you don't have your tickets yet for the Irrelevant Show at Kelowna Community Theatre, you're going to need to get them. It is a big deal. And if it wasn't for KFX, the Irrelevant Show wouldn't be in BC. So we are the reason they're coming to BC. And you should also know that they're going to say live from Kelowna Community Theatre when they do that show, and they're going to take 2 shows from there, and those will be broadcast across the country throughout their entire season. So that's pretty cool that people from Kelowna can be in that audience where that taping's happening. All right, so now to our lineup for the 19th. Okay, so when you walk into Kelowna Community Theatre, you're going to see a spectacular lineup of VIPs and of a collection that has never been seen before of movie props. A gentleman that lives here in Kelowna and his kids have been collecting these really rare, very unique props from movies like Star Wars, The Terminator, Stargate, The Mummy, you name it. If it's sci-fi, these guys are collectors and they've kept all these things in their basement. Last year, when they were at our KFX, they said, oh my goodness, we should next year see if we can display some of the props that we just have been collecting all these years in our basement. So we're going to be the first people to see these props out. Now I've been lucky enough with my son Ray to preview them a little bit. They're pretty cool, but I just can't wait to see them. And those are going to be set up right in Kelowna Community Theatre lobby, making it a very vibrant, exciting place. As well, you're going to see a lot of VIPs in the lobby there. Some of those VIPs include Vic Mignogna, who is a really well-known internationally, very, very big throughout the United States, Canada, Japan, China, India. He is a voice actor that is the main character in Full Metal Alchemist. And those of you old school, like Dragon Ball Z, you'll recognize Vic Mignogna as a very notable figure in the world of anime. He has a crazy following, this guy. I mean, he's the lead person in so many Comic-Cons, and he's a big hit every year at San Diego Comic-Con. Another sort of old school, kind of really cool celebrity that you might remember as a blast from the past is PJ Filgaro, who used to host YTV's Animation Hour after school in the 90s. He's coming in, he's going to be a host in many of our events. And he loves animation, he loves kids, he's amazing at what he does, and he's an expert. So he's going to be one of our hosts during our cosplay contest, and he knows the background on all these characters. He's an expert. He's also going to be upstairs in the RCA here with Crunchyroll Animation, talking about what's happening there, and I believe making an appearance in the video game area. So Phil Garrow, the host of YTV in the 90s, is coming, PJ Phil. John Delaney, who's always been a champion, the person that is one of the artists behind The Simpsons, Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. He's the person who draws our official, super special posters that all of our VIPs get and other people can purchase as well on site. They're on our shirts. Summer Johansson, our volunteer coordinator, has last year's on today. That was designed by artist John Delaney, who's from Kelowna, and he draws now for The Simpsons. And so you can go into chapters and pick up a graphic novel and see John Delaney's name on it. But you can also see Ian Boothby's name on it, who's a writer from Vancouver, really, really well-known improviser as well, writes for lots of comedy series that you know in Canada and in the States. He writes with, John draws, Ian writes a lot of the graphic novels for The Simpsons, and they're going to be together for the first time. So we're really excited that Ian's going to be coming, and he's going to be with John Delaney in the Kelowna Community Theatre, and they're going to be meeting some of their fans and signing autographs. Ian also is one of the writers for The Irrelevant Show, so he's going to be able to get together with that gang and talk about what it's like to write for comedy. Pia Guerra is Ian's wife, and she is the artist behind Black Canary. And last year we found Black Canary was one of the most popular cosplays to do. There are so many young women and some young men dressed as Black Canary, and I know that she's going to have a big lineup at her booth at Kelowna Community Theatre, signing autographs for not just Black Canary, but also for her series Y, The Last Man, which is a big draw among graphic novel collectors. Josh Reimer and Andy Reimer are two brothers that I met way back in the day in Calgary, and I have to tell you, they're pretty spectacular. Spandy Andy Reimer, as he's known, calls himself a superhero of positivity, and he is. You will meet him and you will love him. Primarily, he started as a street performer, and then he's worked his way up so that he is hired to travel throughout the world to work at such places as Disney, Universal Studios, but also to work at very elite parties in Saudi Arabia, in Australia. And what he does is he dances. He's been on So You Think He Can Dance twice. He's been on Wipeout, and he always comes up at sort of notable, big-time Canadian events. He's performed in Canada Day. He's performed on the New Year's program. So he's really well known. And again, because he is such a spectacular performer, he doesn't just show his skills, but he incorporates the audience like those really skillful street performers always do, and we're looking forward to him doing that here. He's a lovely person. He's going to be performing all day, and then he's going to be doing a panel with his brother, Josh Reimer, who he actually wrote a series with called Brothers, and they were one of the very first series on the station Out TV, which is an LGBT network station, and they are just an amazing group. Between Josh and Andy, they have millions of followers on YouTube, and so they're going to talk a lot about how they got to be these social media geniuses. Josh Reimer, who does a lot of YouTube videos and has them seen by this phenomenal number of fans, he's so skillful in his technique that he's hired by YouTube and Facebook to go to conferences and to teach other people how to get networks and how to get fan bases. So I'm really excited to see what their panel is going to be like, but to also reconnect with them again, because I know creatively they're phenomenal. So Josh has a takeoff in he does social satire videos, and he's also a big activist in the LGBT community, which is a big part of our event as well. We have very high-profile cosplayers, Andy Ray and Puppet Shoe Cosplay, who come and not just show our cosplayers how it's done. You see some cosplayers here, but they're very, very inspiring because they're so award-winning, and they are the people that designed this year's cosplay competition, which is going to happen on the big stage at Kelowna Community Theatre. And people don't have to worry if they're not competitive cosplayers, because we have some categories that are just for people that want to go and have fun. We call those masquerades. and you can just walk across the stage at Kelowna Community Theatre, not worrying about being judged or anything like that, but just show your beautiful costume and style. And if you're a family, early on in the day, we have a family competition. And you know what? Anybody who chooses to participate in that will get a really, really cool prize for them and their family. And last night we were going through all the prizes and just getting so excited about all the stuff we have to offer kids and families. Acclaimed zombie fiction author Adam Louis Schroeder is going to be doing a reading from his novel All Day Breakfast. He is sparkling, fun. Erin has talked very highly of him because he was one of her professors at UBCO. But I read about him in the Globe and Mail and heard about this book, and I knew I wanted him on our lineup for this year because I've heard he's incredible. We have artists from Disney Interactive as well that are going to be doing a panel and talking about what's new with Disney, what's coming up. It's a very exciting year for Star Wars fans. And Disney, of course, is affiliated with Star Wars now, so I'm excited to see what they've got planned in the Disney Interactive world. Our own theater company is going to be doing an improv of Star Wars versus Star Trek. So we do improvised films all the time, every month. Tonight it's Harry Potter. For our show, we're splitting into two teams. One team is going to be improvising The Wrath of Khan. The other team is going to be improvising the original Star Wars. We're going to be given a limit on the number of props we can use, on the budget we can spend, and on the number of costume pieces we have. We each will be allowed 3 rehearsals, and just like all good improvisers have to, we're going to improvise the best of the best we can on the big Kelowna Community Theatre, and then we're going to let the audience judge who was better, Star Wars or Star Trek. Another competition we have going on, a head versus head competition that I think is really spectacular, is I'm sure a lot of you have heard about lip sync battles. I mean, they've been popularized on Jimmy Fallon's show, and I know they have a whole series now of lip sync battles. We are going to bring those to Kelowna and to Kelowna Community Theatre, and we're going to kick things off with Mayor Bazarin doing the very first lip sync. We have a number of challengers that are lining up to challenge him, including Doug Brown of Go Okanagan, and we are going to battle it out and see who can do the best job of lip sync. Now, I showed the mayor the video that Tom Cruise did, which is one of my personal favorites, on Jimmy Fallon of I Can't Feel My Face, and he was very inspired.